Welcome to Spain, Poco. Buenos dias, Tanya.
Buenos dias.
¿Qué tal?
Muy bien. We're doing well. The weather's actually pretty nice. So
It,
it
it
does make things better.
it feels like I said it to this morning at the bus stop to the other parents. I'm like, it feels like spring has sprung. I mean, it was a little. I'm not bundled up to
Right.
get to the bus stop in the morning,
I
and I'm
bundled up
like,
this morning and I was like, I think I'm wearing too many clothes, which was nice, but it's not, it's been really windy and it wasn't windy today. So that was kind of the big change. I don't even know if the
yes.
temperature changed, but the wind, I mean, it's just a lot and it gets my allergies going. And yeah,
I
it's
almost
fun.
felt like I could have worn shorts today because I go to the gym
Oh,
after drop off, and I was like, I think I could have worn shorts today.
oh my God, you're one of those people. I was out, what was it? Whatever day it was where it was so windy that Zena and I were like holding on to each other so we didn't like fly away, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I was walking around and then this guy was walking around in shorts. And I'm like, what is wrong?
Oh no, I'm not that person. It
Oh,
was just
okay.
like I could maybe go to the gym in my shorts because I
Oh,
don't like
okay.
working out in sweatpants. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
But it kind of brings us to this episode. The reason why I have to go to the gym is
Yes.
because of my love of Spanish croquetas.
Oh, they are the best. And we've talked a little bit before about Spanish tapas and how it's not,
Hmm.
most of them really don't follow this wonderful Mediterranean diet that you all think we're all going to have here. But
Right.
it also, the joy of the Spanish croquetas. I mean, they are so good. So we're going to talk about them today and what makes them unique. And I mean, they're just so delicious.
They really are. And as we had stated in an earlier food episode, we both had made this mistake that when
Hmm.
we first tried them here, we thought they were made with mashed potatoes because that's how they were made in my Italian household growing up. That was mashed potatoes mixed with meats and things,
Oh,
and then
the whole time. I what, 4 years we were here before I realized that all these beautiful, delicious croquetas that I thought it was mashed potatoes with bits of meat and fish or whatever it is that's in it. For
right.
sure, that is the texture. That is what it seems like you're getting. And it was 4 years before I realized that that was not the case.
And then it's a bechamel, right?
It's a
Which
bechamel
is just
sauce.
milk, fat, and flour. But what surprises me, or shocks me, astonishes me, whatever the word is, I'm a thesaurus today, is that like bechamel is not like like mashed potatoes you can mold up, right? So
Right.
the bechamel, it's an oozy sauce. So I mean, I know they have to they chill
Okay,
them to
don't
get
say
the shape.
oozy. That
Not
sounds
oozy.
gross.
We
That
can't say
sounds
oozy.
bad. That makes them sound really disgusting. But you're right. Technically, you're right. I never, when someone told me that they were made with a bechamel sauce, I'm like, but how is that possible? Because a bechamel sauce is a sauce, and these are like a mashed potato texture. So they're obviously making it quite thick enough to form them, and then
Hmm.
sticking them in the fridge to make sure that they stay formed and become slightly more formed so that you
Well, I
can,
think they chill them and then they reform
but you
them
have, it
after they've
has
been
to
chilled.
keep, it has to go back in the fridge and then come out of the fridge before you fry
Deep
them.
fry it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a game of making sure that they don't kind of melt, I guess,
Right.
in the process of getting made. And it works. And even when they're fried, it's not like you open it and it pours out. It's not like a lava cake or something. I mean,
No.
it's still got this, it still has this potatoy kind of texture inside,
Hmm.
and they're also super duper good. But other countries do. I mean, croquetas is a worldwide
Right.
delicacy, I believe.
Yes.
But a lot of them will make them with mashed potatoes, as we've spoken, which is obviously the ones that we've had, but also rice. I haven't
Hmm.
had the rice ones. I don't know if they're made with rice or maybe a pureed rice to get that texture. Not sure. But
Hmm.
I mean, it's all going to give you this texture, this kind of mashed potatoy sort of texture inside, and then it's mixed with bits of meat or bits of chicken or whatever you've got, and then deep fried with
Right.
breadcrumbs.
And they're
So
so
good.
good. And
So
when we moved here, I was so happy to have them. And
good.
sadly to say, my children don't like them.
Neither does Zena. It's crazy. I don't
Really?
understand because here I think really it's a kids menu item
It's like
here,
yeah, it's the Spanish chicken
right?
finger, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Right?
but way better.
Way better.
Yeah, she won't either. Yeah, she's not interested in them, and I don't understand. So yeah, whatever.
Our children are aliens. We've
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it out loud. There it is.
Further proof.
Well, should we talk about the history,
Mm-hmm.
where they came from,
Yep.
and
Now
how
that
they
we've got
got here?
everybody's water's mouth, now that we've got
Their
everybody,
water's mouth.
now that we've got everyone's mouth watering, let's move on to history and all of that. Go ahead.
So they arrived. Well, they originated in France in the 18th century.
So they were the
And
geniuses that started this whole thing.
yeah, I mean,
I
the
guess.
French do have this kind of snobbery about their cookery, their influence on world cooking.
Yes,
Cookery,
cuisine.
something.
Cuisine.
Cuisine. That's the word.
That's the word. And I will say, you can start something, but that doesn't mean it can't be perfected by somebody else.
100% agree. And croquer means to crunch.
Ooh.
And they are crunchy on the outside, smooth on the inside, and crunchy on the outside.
Kind of like an M&M.
Right.
Or a smart.
And they appeared in the aristocratic French cuisines, and they were made from the minced meat or leftovers, and then bound with a sauce. You know what we do now, but it was a leftover. It was what they were doing with their stews and their ragouts that they had left over. And
so it's interesting that even the aristocracy in France were eating their leftovers, but they did have to make them more fancy than just like, here it is again.
Right. And it seems that the court of Louis XIV enjoyed them as well. So there you go. So it made it probably fashionable for all society to be like, don't throw that away. Louis eating leftovers, so we will too.
Well, and I will say, I do think like some countries have really bought like certain dishes from their leftovers that are a lot fancier than other cultures. Do you know what I mean? It's like these the paella too. I mean, delicious. It's turned into a wonderful dish. And so the croquettes croquetas, they arrived in Spain during the 19th century. And obviously, you know, from the influence of the French, it became a bit of a fancy dish here as well.
Yes, because it was also when the Bourbons took over the throne in Spain. So it was when the French cultural, you know, the culture of French became the new ideal in Spain, right? This was what the upper echelons were looking towards. So they got rid of the Habsburgs and brought in the Bourbons, and then you had the royal family was descended from that.
Oh yeah, and then you have your chefs are French trained, which is still a fancy thing, right? So this hasn't really changed that much. But the royal kitchens and the upper class homes had French trained chefs, and therefore these delicious croquetas were brought into the Spanish households, or the upper class households, I should say, initially.
Right. But as time goes by, as we've learned through our turkey episodes and our other episodes, that you know, us paupers do get get a stab at them and realize
eventually
it's a great way to stretch our poor people food, right?
Yes.
So,
and I'm thinking also that this thick bechamel based sauce was something that was possibly much more accessible than a potato at the time. So maybe that's how that kind of came about as well, because
and they probably made the sauce thicker. Maybe that's why it's easier, because it's a thicker sauce here, because there isn't enough meat to hold it together. There's a lot more of this sauce, especially if a poor family's stretching it.
Yeah, in case anyone hasn't eaten one that's listening to this, it is not packed with meat. It is mostly sauce, this thick, and then you've got little bits sort of floating around in there. But it's not like you cut it open and it's like meat. You cut it open and it's this sort of sauce with little bits of meat or fish in it.
Deliciousness.
Yes. So as you were saying, most of it is the cheaper ingredients, which is the rice and I mean, not the rice, I'm sorry, the flour. So, yeah. So when we're talking, oh, sorry. Okay.
I was going to say yes, and what also the Spanish did, because it's Spain, and Spain is the #1 producer of olive oil in the world, they started frying them in olive oil, which, you know, amazing.
So even better. Yes. And of course, because it's Spain, a lot of the leftovers were jamón. So probably popular. You have the jamón, you have chicken, and then fish. Those were kind of the three main meats and that would go into a croqueta. And those are your basics.
And they still
And they
are,
still are.
right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, those are the three you're going to get at every single
Mm-hmm.
restaurant, every grocery store, in their prepared area that has them to take home if you want to reheat them.
Right.
Those are the flavors you're getting.
Exactly. And it took till the late 19th and 20th centuries for croquetas to move from a more fancy place to just regular taverns and working class kitchens, which is quite a long time actually, considering.
Hmm.
But yeah, but
But
it
it was
made
the
it.
Spanish Civil War that really made
Mm-hmm.
them, I think, the meal of Spain,
Yeah.
right? Because that is the time of extreme scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
right? So during that time, families needed a way to stretch what little they had,
Right, and it's a
and
great way to stretch a meat into a lot more stuff because, like we said, there's not a lot of meat in each of these things, but you get a little bit, and it
hmm
makes it taste good. So it is a good way of, yeah, like you said, it's a good way of stretching it out and having a really good meal in the
yeah,
process. And then it became a staple. So
yeah.
it's
And
like,
post-war, everyone's celebrating,
yeah,
or I don't know, celebrating. They're relaxed, right?
mm-hmm,
So
right.
the war's over. So now let's bring them into the bars and serve them
Beautiful.
with our
Yeah,
cervezas.
tapas, and it
And
becomes a comfort food, which I can completely understand. I haven't been here that long, and I think it's already one of my comfort foods.
hmm
So we're like, well, I'm not using leftovers. So to be clear, I'm not making them. I'm
no,
buying
I'm not
them.
making them either. But I will get the ones from like the Mercadona counter,
Oh
the
yeah,
pack that they're not the frozen ones, they're the freshly made ones, and
right.
then throw them on a frying pan
So I'm
for a
going to
few
ask you, how do
minutes.
you heat them up? You kind of refry them, kind
Yeah,
of.
but not deep fry them. I just put like a tablespoon of oil in a small frying pan and toss them around
Oh,
in that
okay,
to crisp them up and warm them through.
okay. Have
And
you tried
and
putting them
they're
in the oven? They probably wouldn't survive that. They might melt out.
I think they would because they've already been deep fried. They've already got everything's been done to them, so you're
Right.
really just reheating them. I mean, I'm sure you could do them on the oven, but I like to have that crispy,
Yeah,
oily
that
yumminess.
is
And
good.
and since my kids don't like them, they're like, "What did you make us a snack?" No,
Help
sorry.
yourself to the fridge.
Yeah, they're cereal. Have fun. And we've stated that it's jamón, bacalao, the fish, and
Hmm.
then they do have for your vegetarians. They do have mushrooms. That's pretty common. You find that
I've
at a
seen
lot of
those a lot, and
places.
those are really good. And I will say sometimes sometimes I can't tell the difference. If someone gives me a croqueta and says what is inside this, I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest whether I know. But in
Okay, so anyone who can't see us, I'm raising my hand in agreement.
yeah, but some of them are very flavorful and different. So I think it depends on like whether they are like a very generic one or whether it's a really nicely made one. Because I've had like duck ones. I mean, I can taste that; it's
Hmm.
delicious.
I've
So,
had octopus ones, and you
ooh,
can taste that.
yeah,
I mean, there's a sushi place that makes croquetas that are very interesting. So, like the fancier restaurants you go
yeah,
to, they do their own version, right? So, like
right.
discussed this before, like it's Spanish food, but then the chefs are like, but we've got to bring the Spanish food to get the customer to eat our foreign food.
Hmm.
So we're gonna give you this
But then we're going to
this
make a fancy
hybrid.
croqueta, right? So our
Yes.
croqueta is going to be, or it's going to be freshly made. So, croquetas are so built into the Spanish tapas like business here that you can go to the restaurant store, whatever that is, and just buy bags of pre-made ones. Pre-made
Hmm.
jamon, pre-made chicken, pre-made fish. There's probably three different ones. Those are the ones that you will find in every store, in every
Every
cafe,
like
generally.
right.
And those are the ones that I think are maybe not as obviously not as flavorful, not as nice and fancy as a restaurant that's making them themselves. There was a
Right.
difference. So, yeah.
So my Spanish is not as good as yours, and my community outreach isn't as good as yours. But is there truth from this that I've heard that hacer la croqueta is a Spanish idiom too? Have you
Yes.
heard
And we
that?
we I don't know if this was in our episode when we were talking about like Spanish sayings or not, but hacer la croqueta is, I mean, it totally makes sense. Like if you think of like it means to kind of roll over, like that type of thing. So it's like they will use it for maybe like babies when they're in that stage where they're so cute because they just all they can do
Hmm.
is roll over, right? And everyone has to know
Right.
that their baby can hacer la croqueta as well, like this type of thing. So it's like a roll kind of rolling around, and it's a little colloquialism that can be
I think
used.
that's
Yeah.
adorable.
And apparently, but I don't play soccer, so I don't know football. Sorry, not soccer. There is a specific skill called la croqueta, which is a dribbling skill. I don't know. That was apparently popularized by Andres Iniesta, who I also don't know who that is. So come at me, people. He's, I'm sure, very.
It's like you're speaking Greek to me. I have no idea what you just said.
So it's where a player quickly passes the ball from the inside of one foot to the inside of the other to move past the defender.
Oh, it's going between 2 feet. I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. Okay.
But I don't. So maybe it's real.
Looks like we were rolling the croqueta back and forth in the breading.
Feet. There you go.
No, well, in the breading.
In the breading.
You got to roll it around.
Exactly. Yeah. So
All
it's
right.
kind of cute. So that just shows also how croquetas are really embedded in the culture, the food, the vernacular, everything. It's just there.
Yes.
And they're delicious and we love them.
Well, I'm going to leave you now and go to the store and buy some because now I'm hungry.
Now you're hungry. There you go. Till next time.
Until next time, Tanya. Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Our Spain.
We really appreciate all the support we have received since we started this podcast.
Visit ourspain.com for transcripts to this and our other episodes, some exciting merchandise, and if you are so inclined, there is also a link to buy us a coffee, which helps support this fun endeavor.
And please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Our Spain Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you're listening.
It really helps us stay connected, and we'd love to hear from you.
Let us know if there's any topics you would like for us to talk about. Even though we are happy to talk about anything, we also want to make sure it's informative for you.
Exactly.